With the releases of both Sifu and Elden Ring, the topic of video game difficulty is once again back in the spotlight. So today we're going to talk about the ways in which Elden Ring and Sifu are difficult games. How do these games pose a challenge to the player, and which challenge is the one that you want to take on? And as somebody who loves a great challenge in a video game, I feel very well equipped to talk about this topic, but I can't say it's not going to put more gray hairs on my head. So let's kick things off with the new martial arts game called Sifu. In Sifu, you'll learn an array of martial arts moves, whether it be a sweep kick or a one-inch punch style situation. You are learning martial arts as you play through this game. The more you fail, the more you age, and if you age enough times, you die. That being said, things get easier as the player learns more moves, and they're encouraged to go back and play levels that they might not have done so great on before. All of this being said, Sifu is a game that rewards repetition, it rewards you learning enemy patterns. And while pattern recognition is by no means brand new to Sifu, it is something that I think is important based on how the game plays. Sifu does a really good job of empowering the player to choose their own sort of loadout, what moves that they like, and what moves they want to use against certain enemies. And in this way, experimentation is usually rewarded. Sifu gives you a lot of really gratifying sound effects and visual effects as well that show you that you've done something right. And on the other hand, the enemies in Sifu have a great way of punishing the player when they make the wrong move. So Sifu's difficulty comes through the education that players are going to get while playing it, and the patience that they're going to have when it comes to replaying boss fights and perfecting it down to every single move the enemy makes. One thing I really do enjoy about the way Sifu approaches difficulty is that there's 5 levels in this game, which means there are 5 different bosses and ultimately 5 different places you can explore while not getting overwhelmed by a bigger world map. And that doesn't mean Elden Ring is on the bad side of this, but we're not even there yet. You can dedicate your play session to getting really good at the warehouse or the club or whichever one you want to perfect that evening. And by the end of it, the gratification should come out of you feeling as though you have full control over the martial arts that are featured in the game and full control over every situation your character winds up in. If you're going to play a challenging video game, you have to be the kind of person who really enjoys that challenge, because if you're not, it's perfectly valid to just want to hop on a horse and take an adventure through a big fantasy-themed sprawling field. I'm actually talking about the next game we're going to discuss, which is Elden Ring. The difficulty scale in Elden Ring is actually kind of a loaded topic. And no, it's not because the Dark Souls community and the Breath of the Wild community are very confused about what to do with this game, although now that I think about it, that is exactly what's happening. It's because From Software games bring with them a bit of emotional baggage. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, they're all loaded with that From Software goodness. This game's difficult, but it's learnable, and it's also fun, but it's also kind of not fun sometimes, but it's always gratifying. It's always awesome to figure out how to beat that one Dark Souls boss. It's always a good feeling to figure out the parrying methods for Sekiro. And it's that gratification, in my opinion, that powers the entire From Software thing. And up until Elden Ring, they were all sort of paced very similarly. While there were explorable open world areas, Elden Ring's the first game that gives you a horse and says, go. Go wherever you want. And you going wherever you want will have different ramifications based on where you decide to go. The game does nothing to tell you not to go somewhere if your level is too low. You're just gonna find out the hard way, and that is by picking a fight with someone and finding out if you can win. Although in Elden Ring's case, a giant dragon just deciding to show up in the swamp is one of the things you'll try to pick a fight with. But I'm getting way off topic, but that's actually a really good point, because when you play Elden Ring, it's really easy to just stray from the main path. And that's one of the ways Elden Ring balances that From Software difficulty with that Breath of the Wild adventure feel. There is a lot to find on this world map, whether it be enemies to fight, or weapons, or armor, or just a cool place to see. No matter what, Elden Ring is going to reward your exploration, and that is how it helps you balance that difficulty that you're going to face when you fight a boss that just keeps killing you and killing you. If you're playing Sekiro and you're stuck on a boss, you sort of just have to figure it out because there's no real way to level up that much. However, in Elden Ring, not only can you level up just like you can in Dark Souls, but you can also go exploring and find other bosses to fight, to earn other cool stuff, and get that really cool feeling you get when you fight a boss and win. Because there's the main story, and then there's plenty of other things to do in this game, so you'll feel that gratification in a lot of places. So Elden Ring takes that combat from Dark Souls, which iteratively got better and better, and that exploration from Breath of the Wild, which everybody loves. Picking your build in Elden Ring is one of the best ways this game helps you handle its difficulty. A lot of players are learning that the astrologer and the magic builds in Elden Ring are a great way to get through this game without ripping your hair out. Maybe you don't want to learn how to dodge perfectly. Maybe you're not in the mood to get a min-max build with your dexterity and find that perfect sword. Maybe you just want to shoot magic beams at an enemy. Well, this game will let you do that. Because trust me, if your timing on a spell is bad, Elden Ring will say, hey, your timing was bad just now, and this boss is coming right at you with its sword ready to kill you. So easy mode in Elden Ring is still going to be a challenge for most people. So we've got Sifu that rewards you with repetition, that leads to education, that leads to just knowing how to completely destroy a boss. And we've got Elden Ring that invites you to explore, not only explore the area, but explore different character builds. Go find a weird sword, go use a weird magical wand, whatever. Explore the heck out of Elden Ring and it will reward you. Both games are difficult in their own way, and it's up to you to decide which challenge you're willing to take on. Because even though these games are labeled as challenging, I do think they're possible for most players to learn. It's just a question of whether or not you want to take the time to do so. And if you do wind up playing either of these games, let me know in the comments. I'm not quite done with Sifu yet. I just learned about a whole mechanic that I don't want to spoil that changes the way you should be playing the game, so I have to go back and do that. And I'm quite a few hours deep into Elden Ring at this point. I keep getting my butt kicked by bosses, and I keep finding other things to do, and I think there's something there. I should be frustrated at this point, but I'm not. I'm just looking for more things to kill, more things to level up against, and eventually go and kick Margit's butt, or Margit. I don't know how it's pronounced. Thank you very much for watching and letting me talk your ear off about Elden Ring and Sifu and game difficulty in general. If you liked the video, make sure you like the video, and if you're not subscribed already, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. It's the #1 way to let me know that you like my videos and you want to see more of them. Other than that, good luck in either Sifu or Elden Ring or both, and I will see you in the next video.